Leo, welcome to February. This is your full moon month, Leo. So this month is about you. So we will have this beautiful 24-degree full Leo moon on the 12th of February at 8:53 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is going to be a moon that's trine Venus. And so whenever Venus is involved, it's not a bad thing, right? Venus is harmony and relationships and peacemaking, and it has a lot to do with value and beauty and love and finances and all that kind of stuff, okay? So I wrote down heart connection, this Leo moon. It's a heart connection. It's going to be super creative. There's a lot of newness in it, okay? Now, this is going to be opposite Mercury and Aquarius, and it's also going to be square Uranus and Taurus. And you're kind of used to this square with Uranus, the oh wow planet, because it's been going on for a while now, for at least a year, and it's going to go on for a little while longer. So you've kind of grown accustomed to this square, this 90-degree angle, okay? So sometimes we know that those angles can hit hard, or if they hit just right, it's almost like zesting, okay? Now, you have a couple other big things going on. You know that Pluto, the planet of transformation and change, just moved into the sign of Aquarius. Now, Pluto made this move in November, on November 19th, and it's going to be opposite you, Leo, in the sign of Aquarius, which is always across from you, for the next 20 years, okay? So you are going to have this intensity opposite you, prompting you, because anytime you have an opposition, you have two sides, and each side wants something, all right? So, Leo, you love to function from your heart. You love to live big. You love to be validated and seen, and you have a lot of love to give. And Pluto is there, and it says, hey, let me show you, Leo, what needs to change. Let me show you some new territory, because it's in the sign of Aquarius. It's almost like a pioneering energy of newness and going into new territories, okay? And then you also are going to have a square with the sun, which is your ruling planet, right? You guys get the sun as your ruling planet. I mean, I really think it pays to be a Leo. The sun will be in the sign of Aquarius until February 18th. Then it moves into Pisces, which will be a little easier for you. So know that there is that opposition, and it's your ruling planet involved. So things you might feel a little in the hot seat up to the 18th of February. Aquarius is known for unpredictableness, so just hold on to your hat until the 18th. Now, we have this lovely gift for you, Leo, and that is that you have a trine, a positive triangle, positive aspect, with Venus in the spicy sign of Aries. And because Aries is a fire sign, it makes a trine with you, Leo. So that's a wonderful, smooth thing. So you can look forward to Valentine's Day being a sexy day. Do not forget the romance, okay? Because there's a lot of intensity. And even though you have a square with Pluto for a long time, remember, Pluto rules sex. So it's there and it's showing up. It's just make sure to give everything the attention that it needs. Now, I did a little pre-reading for you just to get a feel for what I need to tell you here today. And your first card that came out is the Eight of Cups. And this showed up from the Curious Creatures Tarot. And the Curious Creatures is a fun deck with a bunch of animal heads on every human. So you got a giraffe here. And we know giraffes have like the greatest risk of injury is to their neck, right? And here's the Eight of Cups, a card where we usually see somebody walking away from something. We usually see in the classic Rider-Waite format, we see an eclipse happening and we see a man in red walking away from a bunch of cups, okay? This is often a card when people will say things to us like, why did you leave? It looks so good. Or what happened? I thought things were going your way. The Eight of Cups is a choice to walk away when you feel that it's right. Now, this could be walking away from some old emotions because Pluto wants to help you out and help you transform things and get rid of things. And Aquarius is all about newness and freedom. And so an Aquarius usually knows how to pack lightly. All right. And so I see that you are stepping away from things. And I think you're stepping away from some old emotions that no longer serve you. Maybe you've been waiting on a lot of people to actually see you and validate you. And you know what? I'd be tired of waiting by now. Those are not your people. Okay. So here you are walking away from something. Interesting how there's a lot of strings. There's a lot of strings coming from her, it looks like the collar of her dress down to these cups. So it's like there's still some strings attached here. And that was one of the messages that I kept getting was like, we see the past showing up a lot here for you. Now, the Eight of Pentacles is your next card. So I got 2 8s in a row, the infinity sign. And there's 8 of Pentacles. And so here's the guy. It's funny how I said strings attached and then he shows up with scissors. Right? He's ready to cut some of those strings. He is, Eight of Pentacles is known to be like a work hard card, show up and get it done card. So we see that there's a lot of emotions, and sometimes our emotions, I know for myself, sometimes my emotions can stand in my way of actually just getting up and doing some stuff, right? So we see the Eight of Pentacles showing up, helping you out here to cut a few things away. And I think that kind of reminds me of that square with Pluto, because it's like, yeah, it might be intense. You got a big pair of scissors here, but it's helping you out. Okay. Now, of course, the Lovers card showed up here because I think we're talking about some romantic relationships or some people who just kind of wanted to be in some kind of union with you. And so the Lovers card shows up here. This is from the Muse Tarot. So far we've got all tarot decks out here by Chris Ann. She's has a lovely style to her. These decks are in stock at our Kent location. And so we have the Lovers showing up, which is really a Gemini card, which is really and truly about choices. Okay, so you do have some choices here. Now let's see what else. Next card that showed up was a Two of Pentacles from the beautiful Inner Light Tarot, this lovely yoga deck that I often overlook. And I'm so happy that it wanted to be here today because it's such a beautiful deck. Now, I use my pendulum to choose decks when I'm doing these readings, and it's interesting to see which ones want to come out and which ones want to work together. Very feminine, dominant decks today. Now, this Two of Pentacles, she's doing this amazing bend that takes so much strength, and she's really balancing things out. And we kind of were talking about Venus and value and balance, and a 2 is relationships, and it came in right next to the Lovers card. Okay, so we see some strings attached. So maybe there's like still an ex lingering around, or still people that are pulling on you emotionally, and this is asking you to show up in your life. I kept getting the word integrity. So integrity, really like keeping our value, keeping true to what is important to us. And then the Saturn card showed up, and this is from the astrology, the 8 Coins Astrology Oracle. I'm using both their tarot deck and their oracle deck today, and Saturn is here. Now, Saturn is the Lord, kind of like the Lord of the Zodiac. He's considered like father of time, Time. He is kind of like the disciplinarian parent, and he is kind of like, I think of him as like the Lord of the Zodiac, ruling the sign Capricorn, Sirius sign, and also the original ruler of the sign Aquarius until Uranus was found as its modern day ruler. So Saturn showing up here, even though there's all sorts of love vibes and all sorts of, nostalgic vibes, and maybe the past kind of showing up, and you're trying to balance it all out, but Saturn shows up and he tells you to stay true. Okay, or else. So you don't want to pay the repercussions, right? There are, as we know on this planet, there usually are repercussions, right? And so we want to see, want to really be thinking about the bigger picture here, okay, Leo? Now, Saturn also shows up as like the things like, I remember when I was learning about Saturn, and I remember Sheila Haidt talking about it being like a treasure chest, and you really like, you almost don't have access to that treasure chest. It's almost like your retirement account. Like you don't have access to it till you get to a certain age. Okay. So over time, Saturn can bring great success. And I think that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting here. That treasure chest is being opened. Okay. You're finally being given the key to it. All right, so that is your pre-reading. Now let's go into a live reading here. It's a little hard to shuffle the cards when I'm holding this microphone. I've been having some technical mic difficulties here, so I'm back to my old school mic. All right, so I'm going to do like one-handed pulls here. Haven't looked at any of these cards yet, okay? And like I said, I'm working with a few different decks. Let's see what you need to know. I want to get one from the Tattoo Tarot. Oh, that's the one. And then let's pull a Rose Oracle card for you. And we will get another 8 Coins Tattoo Tarot there for you. Okay. All right. Let's see what you need to know, Leo. Your first card that's showing up here is the Three of Wands. And this is a card about looking at the big picture, kind of usually showing somebody climbing up to the top of the mountain and really assessing the situation, assessing what the bigger picture is here. So, Three of Wands showing up and talking about letting go of some things. So we're really kind of taking it in first, taking in what's really going on. Okay, the Knight of Materials showed up here, and I'm always happy to see the Knight of Materials because I feel like it takes the Knight of Pentacles traditionally a long time to show up. So here he is, and he's coming in under that Eight of Pentacles, and we've already had some themes here about Saturn, about things, taking a while to develop, and so the Knight of Materials showing up is a good thing. Now let's see, our Inner Light Tarot deck is the Ten of Wands. So she's kind of bending down. She's holding a lot in her hands. She's trying to manage a lot of things here. And Ten of Wands is usually when we've gotten pretty exhausted from all that, okay? But it's interesting that she's holding all these branches or these logs of wood, and yet you can see in the window the little tree branch there. So we know that there's plenty of resources is what I'm getting from this. It's almost like there's no lack. Now let's see what else we've got here. We've got the Three of Cups. And I love this version of the Three of Cups because the party is over. There's all the dishes piled up, but boy, was it a good time. Okay, so it looks like you're going to there's a lot of fun here for you. There's almost I kind of was getting events. If you're doing events, there's a lot of events here for you. There's a lot of people that want a piece of you. You just have to be careful not to spread yourself too thin and to leave too many strings attached in too many places. Okay, really taking the time to look at the bigger picture, what the real plan is here. Interesting how you started off with the 3 and you ended with the 3 over there. And to me, 3 it's a foundation number, but 3 years in numerology are often when we write in pencil, sketch things, get an idea, and then move into making plans the following year. So I see you in this collaboration stage, planning, sketching, getting ideas, thinking about the bigger picture. But we know there's going to be some things we need to walk away from. That's just how it's going to be. It's the only way we can balance it all. Let's see here. Your Rose Oracle card is Open. Say yes, expand through the extremes, and trust life. That's pretty beautiful. Okay, so expanding through the extremes. We already know there's a lot of extremes with all these squares this month, especially the one with Pluto that you're just going to have to get used to, right? But it can really, your wallet can benefit from it. Your other card is Libra, and interesting how the sword is cutting through the middle, almost like 2 parts of herself. And it's interesting because this one says say yes and expand through the extremes, and Libra is known to say yes. Libra is known to sometimes overcommit, overcompromise themselves. So I kind of get say yes when it's a strong yes, and make sure that you're saying no also, because the Ten of Wands was there and it was showing putting down some things. So you're not going to be able to say yes to everything. You are going to need to focus on you so that you can expand into the ways that you're looking to expand. I just see a lot of work growth here, but I do think that you should not say yes to everything. All right, and I think Libra was a little reminder of that. All right, now let's go week by week for the month of February. We're using these cute little golden Art Nouveau tarot, and let's go week by week. And so for week 1, we have the King of Cups here. And, the King of Cups is like someone great to talk to. He's considered like king of the kitchen, king of emotions, very open, and is in a very powerful position there. So, a lot of power starting off the month. Week 2, now this would be considered Valentine's Day that weekend, and the Empress shows up. Now, she's ruled by Venus, and what's better than that when we're talking about Valentine's Day? And she's pregnant with possibilities, and she's showing up under that Knight of Materials and also under that Eight of Pentacles. So something's really starting to pay off, okay? See some checks with your name on it. Week 3, 10 of Wands underneath the 10 of Wands. Okay. I think that the answer is pretty clear here, right? You're carrying too much. Interesting comes in under the Lovers. Okay. So it could be in your love relationship. It could be, but it could also just be in your commitments also, because the Lovers is Gemini. I'm a Gemini moon. And sometimes like, we'll just want to, like, yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And then we get overstimulated and overtired. Okay. So by week 3, you're being prompted to slow down, make some change there about all you're doing. And also week 3 is right around the time that the sun will move into the sign of Pisces. And we know that Pisces needs more rest than other signs. The water signs need more rest. So you can start really looking at making sure you've given yourself the rest that you need. Now, week 4, you have another king. You have the King of Wands. So it's pretty cool that you started off with, you got kings on either end of the month. The King of Wands there is under the 3 of Cups and also under the 2 of Pentacles. The King of Wands to me is you, right, Leo? I mean, you're a fire sign. The cards are really non-gender. So a Leo King would be someone who goes after something. He's in a power position to get what he wants. Looks like there's going to be some fun. Looks like there's going to be some invites, some parties. There's going to be some opportunities. But please take the rest in week 3 so you're prepared for the opportunities that week 4 holds. All right. Okay, great. Now, I'm just going to pull 2 more cards just to see if there's anything else that maybe I've overlooked for you, Leo. And what are some of the most important things that Leo needs to know this month? The 2 of Materials showed up. So this is your second time getting this 2 of Pentacles. Here's the first version. And so we know now that this is really the most important part is coming up as restating the 2 of Pentacles there, finding that balance. This one's cool because it's like roses. And so even though it's like could be filled with your life could be filled with a lot of really great things, the balance is key. Your second card is the Queen of Wands. I like how this is a tattoo tarot. So on her hand, it says burn. Okay, so we got the Queen of Wands showing up. There's the King of Wands. So they're a pair. So I see a lot of great vibes for you over Valentine's Day, over this whole month. It's like spicy. There's things coming to fruition. There's a little bit about strings attached and that having to cut some strings with some things. So could be some people that are just like energetically leaning on you, or that you just kind of have to clear up and kind of let them go. It doesn't have to be any hard feelings. There may be some old, like people, they could have old boyfriends, old girlfriends from the past kind of lingering around. Just be careful of that because the word integrity came through pretty clear. Stay focused on your commitments. Looks like you have a lot of good commitments, okay? All right, so I'm going to move these to the side. And we are going to give you work on some dates for you, okay? We are going to use the charm bowl, the gigantic charm bowl. And this, we're not going to take any of this too seriously. We're just going to have fun with this and kind of look at dates. And we're going to use dice also. Now, if any of you Leos that are listening to this, let me know, honestly, if you like the charm part. I've taken it away a few times, but people tell me they love it. I'd love to hear some feedback. So let's see here. I'm just going to throw randomly onto the calendar. Oh, that's a lot. All right. Kind of went right in the middle there. And then we're going to do the dice. So let's see what the dice have to say. So we rolled Jupiter in the sign of Scorpio in the fifth house. Okay, so Jupiter is the planet of luck, blessings, and expansion. It's been in its retrograde period, but it's going to go direct this month. I think it's around mid-month. It's going to go direct right before Valentine's Day. So that's going to be a good thing. All right. Now it's showing up as Jupiter in Scorpio. And, you know, Scorpio rules sex, and we're talking about a Valentine's Day month, so it's not a bad thing that's showing up here. Scorpio also rules other people's money, so there's power there. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, right? We already talked about the square with Pluto. And the fifth house is your house, Leo. It's the house of fun. It's the house of validation and being seen, putting yourself out there. Okay, so I see a lot of really great stuff for you this month. Power, a lot of power. A lot of intensity, but a lot of beauty. All right, so most of these fell right here, like on the 5th and really on the 12th, 4th, 5th, 12th, 13th area. Okay, now these letters, let's see if we can make any words. I see the word ward, W-A-R-D, or the name Ward. I see the word wild, W-I-L-D, and let's see what else. I see wild. I see word, wordy. I see the word day and the name Ray. The name Wald, W-A-L-D. And what else? Down at the bottom here, we have an A and an N and a J and a U and another A. I'm just going to put those towards the bottom. So we have the name Juno, Jan for January, land, L-A-N-D, the word wand, W-A-N-D. See the name Randy. Okay, let's see what else we have. So just kind of have fun with this. If anything jumps out to you, I see the word aura. And, all right, the name Jody. All right, so let me just tell you what I see here. So I got a couple charms that fell kind of in January. There's a truck, there's a unicorn, and a moon, the letter Y. We've got a big symbol of the moon kind of falling between the 1st and 8th of February. Those are Saturdays, and the moon can make people very emotional, okay? But it also can make us very intuitive. So pay attention, cater to emotions there, 1st and 8th of February. Now, all this chunk of stuff, on Tuesday the 4th, there's a castle and the tree of life and the letters I-O-A. Then we get over into the 4th. We have like a present there, some votes for women, W-R. I also see the word war. So be careful also not to get into arguments, okay? Now we have St. Christopher here, be my guide, who is about protecting us while we travel. We did see the word land. I just felt like an airplane. And then we have the letter D there on the 6th. On the 7th, we have like the 5th. This is like a moon phase. It looks like almost like a new moon. And here on the 12th, you have another thing that says votes for women. So you got two symbols, votes for women. And you've got the letter A and L there with a high-heeled shoe and a little battleship, okay? So make sure you're tending to your female relationships. Make sure you're tending to your love relationships. Make sure you're tending to yourself and to your needs of comfort, all right? Now, on the 13th, you have a lucky, oh no, I thought it was a clover, but it's actually a butterfly. On the 14th, you got a little fox and the letters A and Y. See the word day and the word away, A-W-A-Y. So there could be, I'll see L-A. All right. Now, what else do we have? We have a Ankh on the 16th. On the 17th, the letter A. The name, the symbol for Libra is showing up again on the 18th. Okay. Oh, and I kind of skipped over the Valentine's Day. You had the fox, the A, and the Y, or you could say Y-A. Yeah. All right. And foxy. All right. So have fun on Valentine's Day. All right. Now the 19th, you've got like this third quarter moon, and you've got a clock tower here on the 19th. And along the bottom, these didn't really, they fell right underneath this last week. The word Juna, Juna. Those are the letters that fell at the bottom. So it looks like a lot of consolidated energy, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and also again 12th, 13th, 14th. Let's see what the dice give us for power days, and we'll see if they line up, okay? So you first rolled Jupiter, and Jupiter rules the sign Sagittarius. And the moon will be in Sagittarius on Thursday, the 20th of February at 7:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time through the 21st and the 22nd until 6:09 p.m. That did not line up with the charms, but let's see. So that means you're going to get extra power days this month. Now, you also rolled Scorpio, and Scorpio comes in right before Sagittarius. So we can add on to those dates Monday the 17th at 7:19 p.m. That's President's Day. Into the 18th when the sun moves into Pisces, into the 19th and into the 20th. Okay, so you got a nice long spell there from the 17th right through the 22nd of power days. And since nothing really fell on those days with the charms, I kind of almost feel like those might be really good power days for you to get some rest, because we have the moon in Scorpio and then the sun moves into Pisces. These are all water signs, and water signs love rest. Okay. Now, you also rolled the 5th house, which is you, Leo, and the moon moves into Leo. Remember, this is a Leo full moon month. So this is your month and this is your full moon. And you also rolled this. So it starts on the 10th at 12:01 p.m. through the 11th and through the 12th. The full moon happens at 8:53 a.m. on the 12th. It's also trine Venus, so it's a beautiful time. That's where you had tons of activity there. So if you get a chance to celebrate an early Valentine's Day, the 12th would be a great day for you. And then what else? And Valentine's Day, the moon will be in Virgo, but on the 15th, it moves into Libra early in the morning. And I've been talking a lot about celebrating it then. It's a great time for it. But for you, Leo, really the 12th is the ideal day. So, and remember, Valentine's Day is a man-made holiday and there is no obligation to celebrate anything. So whatever you do, the 12th looks like it'll be a good day for you. All right, Leo, thank you for joining me and have a fabulous month.